Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl, Grace Tori, and I am back with a whole new podcast episode. It is June, somehow, literally somehow. When I noticed that it was already 6 months into 2024, the first thing I thought of was, oh my gosh, I have all of these goals that I wanted to do this year that I still haven't done, and then I started to panic a little bit. And so I thought this would be a good episode for us to jump into what I have done to kind of reset my life and get me back on track to accomplish these goals that I still want to accomplish, and just kind of get things going back to where they should be, like get me more motivated, tweak things so that I am out of my slump, so to speak. So we are just doing like a full mid-year reset. I'm going to talk about all my hacks, all my tips. So if you are interested in hearing all about how to change your life and get all of those dream bucket list things that you wanted to achieve this year, definitely keep on listening. We are a community of women who are working to become the best version of ourselves. If you're feeling lost, if you have a lot of goals and you're not sure how to get there, definitely hang out with us for a while. You can follow or subscribe on whatever platform you're currently listening or watching on, or follow my Instagram and TikTok, which I will link down below. I'm not going to drag this intro out. There's lots to dive into, so let's go ahead and just jump on in. I'm Grace Tori, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. So these are all my tips to get back on track to meet those goals by the end of 2024. I know that with it being 6 months in, there's some things that maybe you fell off, maybe some things you're really good at, other things you need more help with, maybe a lot is just going on and super chaotic and you need to kind of reprioritize. These are all the things I do to get me back with my eye on the prize. So the first thing we are going to talk about is your diet. No, I'm not talking about losing weight. I'm talking about like your actual lifestyle, diet, food, what you are consuming day to day. I'm not going to give you weight loss tips or anything, just like how to really get that back on track from a health standpoint, because when your diet is healthy and where it needs to be, your mental health, your physical health, all of that follows suit. You feel better, you achieve more. It's just something you really need to keep an eye on, and something that I really didn't notice how big would impact me until I got a little bit older and realized that, like, wow, what you eat really does have an effect on you, and you're not going to bounce back as quick as you were when you were 10 years old. The first thing I did was I cleaned out my fridge. I know some people are really on top of cleaning out their fridge and do it like once a week. Some people never clean it out, but I just cleaned it out. Anything that was expired, wasn't good anymore, just like could not, should not be in my fridge, got all of that out, and it had fresh energy. I like wiped out the fridge, cleaned all the drawers with like a hose. I did all the things. I really cleaned this guy out. So that's number one. Next, try new recipes. We should be eating at home more than you are eating out. It's just better for you. The energy is better. It's more of a vibe. Really try to eat at home more. The energy you're putting into it is better, and you're going to have better results. My favorite thing to do is go on Pinterest and look up recipes and see what stuff I already have to go with that recipe. It's a good time. I definitely highly recommend doing that. Like I mentioned, with eating out, try to cut out as much of that processed ickiness. I know I've been really struggling because we've gotten super busy. It's also summer, so we're eating out with friends more. So I'm just eating more processed stuff that could be a lot healthier if I was just making it at home and like substituting things. I also would be spending less money. So from a health standpoint, processed food really does do a number on you. So cutting out that processed food, it's really not too late to get your health on track for this year, this summer, in life. Like, you are not too far gone. It's just trying to get back together. One of the things I really like to do is detox for a week. You don't have to detox for a week. You could detox for a day, but you know, maybe take a week where you don't drink alcohol, don't do anything like that, and you really just focus on drinking water and eating really healthy, and then you can go back to a more regular regimen after that week and just like stick to keeping the processed food out and eating better. So that's what I'm going to say about your diet. You can customize it to whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you what diet is going to work best for you. I just know that across the board, these tricks are definitely going to get you on the right track. In my opinion, spring cleaning should be quarterly. It shouldn't just be once a year. So we are spring cleaning. We're doing a mid-year clean. Get rid of all the things that are just taking up space, your closet, whatever is in there in terms of clothes, old home decor you're not using, old books, like anything that is just taking up space that you're not using, get rid of it. It's holding old energy in your house and you want to clear that out to make space for new energy and new ideas. You're also going to go through your storage. Anything that you no longer need, get rid of it. Minimalism is in. It is time to clean and organize and get all of that out. I also reorganize based on what is most convenient to me at this point in time. So for example, if I'm cooking a lot of something and I need a certain like tool a lot, I'll reorganize so that that tool is easier for me to access. And then maybe in 6 months I won't be cooking that same thing a lot anymore. So I'll switch and I'll reorganize my kitchen again so that whatever I'm hyper fixating on, I have easier access to. You can also reorganize things like your bathroom. Like, it doesn't just have to be your kitchen. Anywhere where you feel like it could be more convenient, you want to make things as convenient as possible so when you're setting habits like your night routine and things like that, it's not harder on you than it needs to be. I know something that I constantly neglect that I really need to make more of a priority, and that is exercising. I feel like we tend to have more time in the summer to do these things. Additionally, it's like nice outside, so go outside. I know this week it's ruthlessly hot out, so I will probably be at the gym versus just going outside, but prioritize exercise. It's so good for you. It's going to make you live longer. You're going to have more energy and stamina and all the things that are good for you. Prioritize exercise. I know I fall off with this, but when I get back into it, it really helps with my self-discipline and self-confidence, and then that helps me in other areas. It's really important to check in with yourself and ask yourself, what do I or my body need? I do this through meditation. Your intuition is never going to fail you. So just ask yourself, do I need more rest? Do I need more of this specific vegetable? Do I need more working out? Do I need more space? And your body's going to tell you. You're going to know the answer. It's going to be like super quick. I feel like whenever I need something, I just know, and the only reason I haven't done it already is because I'm pushing it off. Maybe I don't have time or I don't have the tools, but you're gonna need to take care of your body, and nothing else is really gonna fall into place until your body is where it needs to be, and that's really important to remember. So just check in with yourself. Are your pets, if you're me or if you even have kids, getting everything that they need? I specifically relate this to pets because that's all I have. Are my pets getting enough exercise? Are they getting all their multivitamins? Do they need to go get dental work done? Is it time for their yearly or 6-month checkup? These are all things that I'm asking myself because I'm taking a second to reset. And in that moment, I'm not caught up in everything else. So I have a moment to think and say, do I need to fix this? Do I need to schedule anything? You're also going to schedule you or your pet's doctor's appointments. I know I'm always needing, I know we're supposed to go to the dentist every 6 months. There's always an eye appointment or a physical or something that I can schedule that I've been putting off. Also, the dogs, I usually ask my vet for an estimate before I go, and that way I can save up and know exactly what they need. So it may vary based on what they actually need done, but if you call them and say, hey, I have a 75-pound shepherd that I need to bring in for a vet exam, a yearly exam, he's probably going to need these vaccines, they will give you an estimate of exactly what that will cost, and then you'll know to save up for that. If it is more expensive, like Luna is 4 times the size of Evie, so for some reason everything is 4 times as expensive. So I like to do that with him. Just a little hack. Schedule the fun things that are on your summer bucket list. Get them out of the group chat. Once you schedule them, it can be a month in advance, but at least they're on your schedule so that they're gonna happen. Maybe it's a paint and sip. Maybe it's going and throwing axes with your friends. That's something that we have close to our house that we've been wanting to do. Maybe it's going to the fair. Maybe it's going on vacation somewhere. These are all things that you need to put on your schedule, so take time to do that because you're going to look back and regret it if you don't make time for the fun things too. Finances. We need to talk about finances, besties. These are so important. Stop spending money unnecessarily. I know you want that home goods item. I know that you want to go to Starbucks, and I condone that to a certain extent. It's every day when it becomes an issue, but eat at home. Do free activities like going to the park. Save and pay down on debt because that's what's going to make you happier in the long run, and money adds up, and eventually you're going to have a lot of money to do on something else that you would have had to spend on your debt and also interest if you wouldn't have paid that off sooner. So pay off your debt first. I know that you guys are like, duh, bestie, but if you have a credit card bill, don't pay off a little bit at a time and then spend money on silly, goofy things. Pay off as much as you can and then just get it out of the way. It'll take a couple paychecks. and then you'll be able to do whatever you want and you won't have debt and it's going to be a good time. Your credit's going to stay up. So finances matter. I know that when my finances are not in order, my life just feels anxious. Like I feel anxious 24/7. I am not about it, and I want that to be taken care of as soon as possible. So definitely stop spending money unnecessarily. Eat at home, do the free activities, and save and pay down that debt. This is definitely going to be a much shorter episode than usual. It was my last day at my job today, so forgive me for being a little bit more tired and like out of it, but I promise longer episodes will be coming. Switching over from things you should do, things to just kind of shift in your mindset is take control. It's literally a mental thing, feeling out of control. Just get out of your head and prove yourself wrong. Like, I know for me, I'll be like, oh my gosh, my house is so dirty. It's making me feel so XYZ. And it's like, yeah, I can complain about it and I can lay down and be like, oh, I just can't get anything done. My mental health is so bad because my environment is so messy and I feel chaotic and blah, blah, blah. Girl, just get out of bed and clean. It's gonna suck. You're not gonna want to do it. You're probably gonna have to drag yourself out of bed, but it's gonna fix the problem. You're gonna feel better after, and you're taking control of the situation. So control what you can control. Prove yourself wrong. There are things that you can't control, like other people are going to have a say in things, and there's going to be situations that aren't up to you, and that's not what I'm talking about. You need to let that go, and whatever is meant to be is going to be. But take control of the things that you can control, and don't be a victim of yourself. Compromise with yourself. Don't go from 0 to 100. Don't completely clean your house and be like, I'm never going to make a mess. I am going to do the laundry, the dishes, everything else as soon as I make a mess. Like, I'm going to clean up after myself. I'm never going to have a bad day, like, where I leave a mess again. That's just simply not true. You're gonna have days where you don't get home until 10 p.m. and you've been out all day. You're gonna have days where you have the flu and you're sick and you literally cannot clean. Like, there's situations, so compromise with yourself. Make a schedule and say, okay, I'm gonna do these chores on these days, these chores on these days, and these chores on these days, and that way you have more of a compromise versus going from 0 to 100, because you're just simply not gonna be able to do it. And I used to think if I tried hard enough, I could, and that's just not how we're designed. Like, humans are just not made to do that. I'm fully convinced. Maybe you are the exception and you can go from 0 to 100 and completely change everything, but I'm not. So make compromises. Be consistent. It may be tough at first, but it takes 21 days to make a habit. It's going to be hard to keep things clean and to keep things on track and to eat better and to stop spending money. Like, I am asking a lot of you, but I'm asking you to be consistent and take 21 days to do it. Like, it's going to take time, and you are going to compromise. You're not going to go from 0 to 100 and be perfect in all of these, but set standards for yourself that you can meet, expectations you can meet. They are going to be difficult. They are going to be a challenge, but they're not impossible. Give yourself 21 days, and in 21 days, you're going to be much better off. You're going to be one step closer to your dream life, because when you allow this type of energy to come into your life, you are making room for this dream life, your goals, things are going to manifest because you have reset, you do have your shit together, and like attracts like, you know? So that's pretty much it. I know it's a shorter episode. Sorry if I misspoke on something or if I stuttered or something. I just mentioned to you guys, I'm so exhausted. I am going to edit this and get this up for you. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great week. I will see you guys on Sunday with a new podcast episode. I am on a little bit of a break until I start my new job, so I will be able to focus more on this. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for the future of the podcast and what that looks like. But I'm also super happy I get to spend more time with you guys. So I will talk to you guys later. If you're watching this on the Wednesday night it comes out, I hope you have a great night. If you're watching this at any other time, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or night. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you later. Bye!